This motherfucker went to where baklava was literally popularized to ask this silly ass question, bro. Now look up Lahmacun and defend it as Turkish again. No, I can't. As much as I want to, I can't defend Lahmacun. Lahmacun as a term in and of itself is like not even Turkic in origin, I don't think. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about these cut videos sometimes. Baklava's historical journey, a recipe in question. Is it Turkish or Greek? Okay, first of all, ridiculous. It's Turkish. Anyone that says it's Greek is fucking lying. Okay, they're a liar. They're lying. This shouldn't even be a question. Okay.
Welcome. Today I'm in Gaziantep.
This motherfucker went to where baklava was literally popularized to ask this silly ass question, bro.
Heart of food culture in Turkey. When I first came to Turkey, the first thing people told me when we talked about food was, you must go to Gaziantep. And I can't wait to see and taste all the flavors that's going on.
Bro will watch something for 3 hours and not like it instead of playing any fucking thing. Okay, first of all, bro, I did play fucking Alan Wake last night, and I want to play Alan Wake again. But what is deeply frustrating to me is that the moment that I fucking start playing a video game, everybody leaves. What do you want? What do you want from me? Yeah, this is my last vid. If Jank is still not here, I'm going to fucking move on to Alan Wake. I don't give a fuck if every single person leaves. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to do. Stop saying we view count Andy. It's my fucking job, dickhead. It's my fucking job. Okay?
Now, one of the places you have to come to is the Coppersmith Bazaar, which is where I am now. You've got all these soaps. You've got metalwork. You've got pottery. You've got food, of course. But I'm only here for one type of food, baklava. And I want to have one question answered for me. Is it Greek? Or is it Turkish?
Oh, God, I love baklava so much.
Gaziantep sits right at the heart of Turkish culinary culture, and it's not hard to see why. It sits right at the crossroads.
Yeah,
of
Alan
lots of
Wake was
different
incredible,
cultures.
by the way.
You've got Georgia and Armenia to the north, Iran and Iraq to the east, Syria and the Middle East down to the south. Now, we're going to find out later in the show whether baklava belongs to Greece or Turkey, but what we do know for sure is that baklava is right at the heart.
The green dust thing is pistachio, my friend. It's crumbles of pistachio. Antep, Gaziantep, is famous for pistachios. There's a lot of pistachios there.
Turkish culture, and particularly celebrations, festivals, weddings, baklava is always served.
Baklava is mid. Victoria Sponge's Atatürk tier. Okay, dude. For that, you definitely need a minute off at least.
And they say here, something that I agree with, if I could, I would have baklava for 3 meals a day. Now, I'm not going to take that advice because I don't want to die before I'm 40, but it is delicious.
Oh. You gotta have baklava from Gaziantep and the dondurma from Maraş, okay? Maraş, Kahramanmaraş, is the area where they make Turkish ice cream. It has a sakız, I guess, right? Like it's very stretchy. It's like gummy. I don't know how else to describe it. Like real Turkish ice cream is the best, dude. Oh my fucking God. It has gum in it, yeah.
Later today, I'm going to be looking to see whether baklava is a Greek or a Turkish dish. But before we do that, we've come here to the Zeugma Mosaic Museum to look at some of the most incredible mosaics you're going to find anywhere. Some of these going back as far back.
Okay. Get to the baklava, man.
Antep pistachio. Absolutely delicious, crammed in there inside the yufka. Now, to make it really, really good, everything has to be from Gaziantep. The butter, the syrup, the people who make it, the ovens, everything. And right here in Gaziantep, we're at Koçak, one of the best and most well-known sellers of baklava in the whole of Gaziantep.
The only problem with baklava is like, much like donuts, it is just like, it is so insanely fucking calorically dense. Like it is, oh, it's so bad.
Let's go inside and see what they've got.
Ooh, okay. I love everything. Okay, there's another thing that I love here. That right there is un kurabiyesi. Okay, it has a little pistachio in the middle of it. That is not a baklava. That is a cookie. a Turkish cookie. And oh my god, un kurabiyesi is incredible. It's called flour cookie. Abi un kurabiyesi D tier. Oh god, all the Turks in the chat being fucking ridiculous.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of the mosaics we saw at the Zugma Museum. Each one really is a work of art and culinary poetry, each one. And you know, in Gaziantep, they take their food seriously. If you were to say no to some of the offerings here, you might not leave the city alive.
Darbuka is the
look at all this delicious
instrument that they're
baklava right
playing
here.
with.
Now the baklava that we know and that you see right here goes back to the Ottoman period,
it's the drum.
just after the conquest of Istanbul, where you can find recipes for it in the notebooks of the Topkapi Palace going all the way back to 1473. But obviously baklava and the food culture itself goes way back, right back to when man first started walking and went, oh, I'm really hungry. Only joking, but not that much, because if we go all the way back to the 8th century BC in the Assyrian Empire, there are historians that have found records about something approximating baklava, about unleavened bread being filled with nuts and honey, which sounds basically what we've got here. Anyway, now we have to see how we make it, how we go from the kitchen to the table.
Oh my
So
god.
for centuries, the Turks were a nomadic people traveling around, which meant they couldn't have things like a traditional oven for cooking dough. So what they did instead was cut these thin strips like this and put it onto a fire and cook it. Now when the Turks came to Anatolia in the 11th century, they brought with them something called Baku Paklavasa, or what we would know as baklava. But with all this evidence of the Turks bringing baklava to Anatolia,
That's just straight sugar water, dude. Oh my god. That's syrup. Oh my lord. Oh, şerbet. Şerbete yatırılan tüm tatlılar kötü bence. Siktir lan.
how come it is that the Greeks have laid claim to it all?
How could the Greeks have laid claim to it? Because that's what happens when you have no fucking culture. Just kidding. Greeks actually have very robust culture, but like not enough good food. That's what it is. Hello, welcome to, you know, I mean, look at Israeli cuisine.
Now, Professor Spiros Veronis talked about the Byzantine dessert kupte and equates it to baklava. But there's some crucial differences going on here that were found out by American journalist Charles Perry, who says there isn't the thin layer of dough which characterizes baklava and makes kupte more like a candy more than, you know, a dessert, so to speak. Now, the Turkish origins, along with the Arabic origins, have also come in an old cookbook, Al-Kitab Al-Wusla Al-Habib. Apologies for my awful pronunciation.
What is that?
There.
The love of Wusla? The book of the love of Wusla? What does that mean?
But there was the Arabic and Turkish origins in that book, including the word tutmaç, a Turkish word, one of the ingredients inside baklava. Okay, so I'm speaking to Mr. Kochak here, the owner of this whole establishment and the father of all this delicious baklava here. Now, he knows a thing or two about baklava.
Will you be covering the attack on school children in Ireland and subsequent rioting? It's a very interesting way of framing what is happening in Ireland, but I don't know what's going on. It's breaking. I'm not going to cover it.
Can you tell me about the origins of baklava, whether
I'm not gonna
is it
cover it
Greek or
yet.
Turkish, basically?
Evet, Gaziantep baklavasının başkası biri tarafından mukayese bile edilmez, kabul edilmez, tartışma kabul etmez. Bu topraklarda doğmuştur. Bu topraklar
That's so funny. It's indisputably born of this territory. No, he literally says you can't compare it. He's right. Doğru. Doğru diyor abi. Adam doğru diyor. Doğruya doğru arkadaşlar.
ürünüdür. Tamamıyla emek hırsızlığıdır, öyle bir talep ve Avrupa Birliği tarafından
Emek hırsızlığı. And it's been granted a geographical
coğrafi
distinction by the
işaret
European
almıştır.
Union.
Türkiye adına, Gaziantep adına tescil edilmiştir. Gaziantep baklavasını değerli eden bu topraklarda yetişen ham maddeyle değer kazanmıştır. Bunun yerini hiçbir bölge, hiçbir ülke tutmaz. Bu bölgede yetişen dünyada eşi benzeri olmayan aroma ve rahiye bakımından Antep fıstığı.
Yeah, he's saying that Antep pistachios are localized to this region. It's region specific, and that's how you make the baklava, which is true. That's like the main primary ingredient
Bu
there too.
bölgenin tereyağı, bu bölgenin buğdayı ve bu bölgenin emeğiyle, bu bölgenin sanatıyla bütünleşmiş bir üründür. Hiçbir yer böyle bir şeye sahip çıkması tartışma bile götürmez. Bu toprakların ürünüdür. Antep baklavası buraya aittir. Burada doğmuştur. Ve en lezzetli, en kaliteli şekli de burada üretiliyor.
So the word baklava came into English in 1650 from the Ottoman Turkish word. But where the Ottoman Turkish word comes from, we don't really know yet. There's a historian, Paul Bell, who suggests that it's a Mongol word, bela, which means sort of to pile up. Or another historian of the Turkish etymology dictionary, Sevan Nishanyan, suggested it could be bakla or bakla, which means to sort of package, which is where some other sources have said it might come from too. Either way, it's absolutely delicious. I've been waiting all day to eat this, and it's been sat here taunting me while I've been wanting to eat it. Now, I've been told that this piece of baklava here, the classic bit of baklava, we've been eating it the wrong way. We need to turn it upside down so it sticks to the top of your palate and stays there and gives you all that delicious flavor. So let's give it a go now. Well, it certainly sticks to the inside of your mouth, that's for sure. And the flavor is unbelievable.
You guys want to hear something else that's crazy? People are going to say this is anti-Semitic, but it's not. Pastrami, someone in the chat mentioned it. Pastrami and its originations is also Turkish. Although pastrami in the Western world and the way that you understand it, especially in like delicious places like, you know, Cat's Delicatessen, is a I think like a Romanian, right? Romanian invention. However, the origination is because it's Eastern European cuisine, American Jewish cuisine, New York City cuisine. However, its origins actually come from pastırma, which means bastırma, which is like derived from pressing. And we have you about to lose all the New York Jews with that one? No. It's different. Here's why it's different. Because pastırma, unlike pastrami, is about the curing process. Nomadic Turks that came from the steppes did not have a lot of time to sit down. They rarely ever developed agrarian societies where they went out to the pastures or whatever. So what they used to do is figure out new curing techniques so that they could keep their meat fresh on horseback. And the way to cure the meat was by pressing it with spices, so they could easily access it on the saddle, similar to beef jerky actually, but not like beef jerky. Abi sarmaya dolma ve dolma des diyorlar. O kadar tatsız bir ülkede çocuğum MHP'ye oy verse ancak bu kadar üzülürüm.
You got all the butteriness, the syrup, the honey, and obviously the Antep, of Gaziantep pistachios. Really, really delicious. Very sweet. If you only listen to anything I say, just one thing, try baklava. It really is delicious.
It's so good. Baklava is so good.
From speaking to Mr. Kocak.
But yeah, here, look. The name pastrami comes from the Turkish pastırma, derived from the Turkish and Azerbaijan verb bastırma, which means to press. Wind-dried beef had been made in Anatolia for centuries, and Byzantine dried meat is thought by some to be one of the forerunners of pastırma in modern Turkey. Pastrami was introduced to the United States in the wave of Jewish immigration from Bessarabia and Romania in the second half of the 19th century. The modified pastrami spelling was probably introduced in imitation of the American English salami. Among Jewish Romanians, goose breasts were commonly made into the pastrami because they were available. Beef navel was cheaper than goose meat in America. But like the word and its origination come from pastırma. Like I said, Turkish pastırma, which is this. And the outside layer of this is incredibly seasoned. It's air dried. It's a way of curing the meat so that you can have it on horseback. It's way too sweet. You mean baklava is? Pastırma is very spicy. The outside curing is very, very spicy. You're not supposed to eat it in a lot of instances, but you can. I eat it. And when I say spicy, I mean like it's like super salty. It's super bitter. It's not hot usually. It's very bitter. It's overpowering. Yeah. It's cured by pressing garlic and spices and cayenne chili and seasoning. Bastırma is very good. It's Arab, not Turk. Stop. No, this literally, what I'm describing is like, there is enough, no, there is definitely enough, you riling up the Turks in the chat? Some say bastırma originated in ancient Armenian cuisine, where it was known as abuk. According to Johannes Koder, an expert in Byzantine studies, paston could mean either salted meat or salted dish, while acropaston meant salted meat. Other scholars have given different accounts of the historical origins of the Ottoman pastırma. The armies of settled agricultural peoples had cereal-based diets. Some Turkish and Bulgarian scholars have written that certain medieval fighters who kept dried and salted meat under their saddles had an edge over opponents who ate mostly cereals. Ammianus Marcellinus wrote that the Huns warmed this meat by placing it between their legs or on the backs of their horses. Çemeni çok yiyince terim bile kokuyor. Yeah. Aman girmeyelim oraya. Anyway, let's continue.
To looking at some of the histories, to thinking about the etymology, that baklava, I think we can safely say, comes from Turkey. Now let's go to Eda to see how we make baklava.
Selam Kenny. Baklavayı gerçekten yiyebileceğin en iyi yerdeyim.
Okay, I'm skipping this. All right, yeah, whatever. She makes it. The video is.
I'll tell you one thing.
I thought the video would be like a little bit more informative. Abi sarma ve dolmayı da savunur musun? Sarmaya dolma da istiyorlar, canımı sıkıyorlar. I go back. No, man. I mean, it's great that she's making it, but I thought this would be more about like the etymology of the word or blah, blah, blah. The word yogurt comes from the Turkish word yoğurmak, which means to thicken, coagulate, and curdle. The use of yogurt was by medieval Turks that recorded in the books Divan Lugat al-Turk by Mahmud Kashgari and Kutatku Bilig. Kutatku Bilig! Oh my God. I haven't heard that in a fucking million years. Both written in the 11th century, the text mentioned the word yoğurt and describe its use by nomadic Turks. The Turks were also the first to evaluate yoğurt's medicinal use for a variety of illnesses and symptoms such as diarrhea and cramps, and to alleviate the discomfort of sunburned skin. We invented it. To which Stavros responds, Greek yogurt. This is all Levantine. You are colonizers and Greeks are thieves. This is like Quebecois arguing with Canadians on who is more colonizer. Wait, did you just compare? Wait, what the fuck? Brother. At a certain point, you got to let go of the nomadic Turks coming from the steppes. You know what I mean? At that point, it's like well established, you know? I feel like if we're once a couple centuries have gone by, at that point you're kind of there, you know? You're from the area. Anyway, now look up lahmacun and defend it as Turkish again. No, I can't. As much as I want to, I can't defend lahmacun. Lahmacun as a term in and of itself is like not even Turkic in origin, I don't think. I don't know enough about lahmacun, which I love, by the way. Oh my God, it's so fucking good. And it's beautiful and delicious in Turkey, but I don't think it's Turkic or Turkish in origin. Yeah, Greek yoğurdun sahibi Türk satış hamlesi için Greek ismen yürümüş. No, the guy, I mean, Chobani is like a Turkish dude, or I think a Kurdish dude. So the reason why he sells it as Greek yogurt is because, you know, it would be easier for Americans to consume it as though it's Greek. If he sold it as Turkish yogurt, obviously it would be, you know, it would not, people would not like it. Sarma means to wrap, rice and grape leaves wrapped around. Dolma means to fill, peppers filled with rice. Argument ended, you're welcome. Yeah. Lahmacun means meat dough in Arabic, so lahmacun is probably of Arabic origin. Yes. No, I know. I can't defend lahmacun as a Turkish food. Lahmacun origin is Armenian and possibly Arabic. I thought it was Arabic. God. I love food history. Now tell chat how the French croissants are Turkish. Is that... Well, I know... Wait. I don't know about that one. French croissants? Did I cover this before? I don't think that's the case. No, they're Viennese. From Vienna. That's why. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's from the same fucking time frame. Croissants are Viennese and were created in celebration of the Habsburgs defeated the Ottoman Empire at the Battle of Vienna. Oh, God. 1683, worst year of my life. 1453, best year of my life. 1683, worst year of my life, when we got to the fucking gates of Vienna and were purged. That's when the sick man of Europe was stopped. Why you got to bring that up? The crescent shape is part of the Ottoman flag. Yeah. The thing is, that's where the crescent cakes come from in Vienna as well. That's my Roman Empire. Yeah, literally. 1683, best year of Europe. Dude said we. Yeah, I did. I wonder what it would be like if the Ottoman Empire was able to fucking push through and make it all the way to the British Empire. Like, I wonder what yarrak gibi olurdu abi. You would still not be in the EU? No, I don't think the EU would have existed in the way that it did. I think that, I mean, no, it stretched way too thin at that point. There's just no fucking way. If Ottomans made it to Europe, Europe wouldn't be as fascist and as backwards and as uncivilized as it is now. Well, a lot of Europe would have better food. That's for sure. There would be such a thing as, well, German cuisine is already Turkish, but it would have been more Turkish. Ironically, World War I goes differently. No Hitler for whatever that's worth in a new timeline. True. No Hitler, no World War II. The treatment of Jewish people in Europe would be far better if it stayed under the Ottoman style of governance. There'd be a lot of issues, though. There's no way. It's Joy. Jank is almost here. Dun, dun, dun.